I think we wanted to start off with some Ahsoka news, right?
At least review the first 2 episodes that dropped.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
We did not get to watch it together.
No. Most things I think in the future we won't be able to watch together, unfortunately.
No. But what did you think? Because I got to watch it before today.
So I think if you're a Rebels fan, it's obviously paying off, right? And I think the problem, I don't think it's even a real problem, because like I enjoyed so much of these first 2 episodes. Even though I've only seen like a handful of episodes, maybe not a handful. I've seen more than a handful for the Clone Wars, but like I've seen a little bit of that, but I haven't seen any of Rebels.
Yeah.
And they really throw you into like a lot of what happened in that first episode from the finale. The Battle of Lorath, is that right? Right? Yeah.
Lethal.
There we go. Yeah, I mean the visuals for me, even though it wasn't like Rogue One or like Andor, it wasn't like gritty and whatnot. It was kind of the opposite almost, because it was reflecting like an animation cartoon universe that it was based off of. But I feel like that this style works so well, even though I'm not even a Rebels fan, you know?
I think there's first of all, I really like the episodes. I think I've after hearing some critiques about it, I guess I can see where people are coming from, and maybe I have some critiques of my own. But for the most part, like I understand where you're getting at. Like it is not gritty. It is more reflective of, like, it does play like a cartoon in some ways.
But I don't think that's a bad thing.
And I don't think it's a bad thing.
It gives like some life to Star Wars, you know, like some real character vibrance.
Yes.
I really enjoyed like how the cities, the buildings all look together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It all looked really nice. Yeah.
I think there were some critiques about the use of the volume.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I thought things were, I mean, I think if I looked back, I might have critiques about how it looks if I had to dissect the scenes. But while watching it, for the most part, all of it was done really well. Like I really like that place that Ahsoka was at the beginning of the episode.
Sure.
Seeing Lethal in live action is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's paying off so well if you've watched Rebels. And boy, they couldn't have name dropped Ezra anymore, huh? like wow, yeah.
But overall, I really enjoy these. They do feel more like the one thing I will say is
before we keep saying more, spoiler review at this point. Yeah.
I will say that I'm wondering what the point of the show will be, because to me, this whole show, and this is not necessarily a critique, it's just I feel like this whole show isn't so much about Ahsoka as it is.
It's Rebel season 5 or 6 or whatever. Yeah.
And also, we want to just expand a bunch of lore and be able to. This is kind of like in a lot of ways what they wanted to do with like an Ant-Man Quantumania, where it was solely, I feel like, just bridging these, trying to bridge the stories. Because I don't really feel like at the moment there's any reason to call this show Ahsoka.
I get you. I really do. Because it's not like Ahsoka was my favorite part of this. I would say she was maybe my least favorite part of this whole show, which is a little sad. I think Rosario Dawson plays her really well. Maybe I wouldn't say that
better in previous like Mandalorian episodes. But I just don't feel there's a focus on Ahsoka. There's almost more of an emotional focus on Sabine than there is Ahsoka.
Oh, totally. I thought Sabine stole the whole show. Yeah, I thought Sabine was great. Honestly. Yeah. Her place was great. I thought her design looked great. And her cat.
That's
all Rebels. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that her place is Ezra's place at the beginning of
of Rebels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean,
like that's where you see him.
I would also say that Balon kind of stole the show for me too.
Oh my god, he's so good.
That intro was pretty stunning.
Well,
I'm pretty happy with that.
I love the intro.
Yeah,
but like I've heard critique of, and I kind of went along with it because I will here's okay. I'll get to what I was gonna say, but if you have a prisoner that is very much wanted,
sure,
and then you have this unidentified using an old call signal, why would you just? Oh, I just want to like have fun with them and fuck with them.
Right. If the captain actually thought they were Jedi, then I would get it. But like he didn't for 1 second think they were Jedi.
No. So why? So it was just like,
yeah, but I guess here's the thing. He wasn't expecting any Force user. You know, like he's thinking, well, we got soldiers at the ass here. We can just take care of them.
I guess that's kind of why I give it a pass.
Right.
But it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel you. And,
just like this star map is buried in this,
right.
thousands
like, why is
of years tomb, and it's.
Well, I guess here's the thing. I guess you can say that like for some reason, I don't even know who banished Thrawn. By the way, who did that? I don't know. But let's say that like this person who banished him knew what this planet was and where it existed. Maybe because they're a Night Sister or new Night Sisters or whatever. And this map is like a map to a Night Sister world that was lost, I guess. I don't know. It's not making like complete sense.
Yeah.
But I can kind of bridge it in my mind, I guess. So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really. But I think the lore building and the mythology is cool. That's going on. I think it's cool to get a Night Sister in live action.
Oh yeah, totally.
I think.
Well, what's interesting? I didn't know that the person they broke out. She was in The Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah, that's like what I wanted to say is the fact that they had an opening crawl was so nice.
Yes, I agree. It was actually kind of necessary for the show. But it also wasn't like yes, I'm proud and kind of proud, and I'm shocked they did it. But it would have been nice to have like a little more traditional of an opening crawl. Because it was just kind of like straight down.
I see what
it's not at the angle.
Sure,
I don't know. Yeah,
it didn't bother me.
Sure.
I just was happy to have one.
Sure,
I guess.
Sure.
And it was in red, which was cool.
It was kind of cool. Yeah. Kind of showing, I guess, a differentiator between movies and the shows.
And I think maybe that had something to do with it literally opening on like a villain scene.
Sure.
And it was kind of mostly focusing on like the villain plot.
Right.
But I think it's cool. Like we have these, what's his name? Balon and Shin, who
Shin was
not Jedi, but not Sith.
Yeah, they're like mercenaries, basically.
And we have some Inquisitor who has a actual name.
But we haven't heard it.
We have.
So
no, it's like it starts with like an M. He's like an M guy's name.
But how do you?
Going to,
I expect it not to be. It's going to be someone we know. That's what I think.
It does feel like it's somebody we know.
To me, it feels like we're either. I think this is my big theory. I think that's Ezra. I'm just going to straight up say that's Ezra.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if it is, which I don't know if. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm sure that's going to piss off a lot of people if he turns like kind of Sith or whatever.
Yeah. But it is like I was talking to a coworker who also like her favorite character is Ahsoka, and also we're talking about the show or like Star Wars today, and she like learned about who Sabine Wren was, and I know it's just a name, but it is interesting that we're now trying to bridge this gap to the sequel trilogy, and then you have the Knights of Ren, and we just started to think about like,
sure,
could Sabine go bad, and maybe that's how this this Ren thing comes along.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That would be a bummer. That'd be a really big bummer.
Well, unless it turned out to be a really good story.
Sure. I guess the thing is that like,
because we know, like, I think the thing about this is we know that all of these, like,
all these characters don't survive until episode 7. That's what we can figure out. Right. Because I mean, here's the thing. Because you could say,
but
where was Ahsoka during the original trilogy, right? And she's still alive. So maybe Sabine's still alive during 7, 8, and 9, and she just never shows up. I don't know why, but why? I don't know.
Sure, but why? And then they like fill in the blanks.
I would
somehow.
still like an explanation about Ahsoka not showing up in 4, 5, and 6.
That would be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, we know that like the movie that's gonna come out is not going to end well for any of the characters.
You think it's a full finale for the whole universe?
But we know the First Order takes over. Like, how do you do that movie and have it end on a good note?
Sure. It's gotta end like episode 3 almost. You know?
Yeah.
Where like the characters are in place for the next trilogy, but something horrible has happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. You kind of see the writing on the wall, but it's, I don't know. As much as I'm not a huge fan of the sequel trilogy, like it is cool seeing them bridge that gap. Like I'm happy they're trying to explain some things.
I mean, this is a more interesting time than
the
sequel trilogies.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that whole look, as much crap as I give Mandalorian season 3, that council scene where they had like all the holograms and it was like a bunch of Imperial officers, that was cool as hell. Like, give me more of that, because this time period, I don't know, it's ripe with collusion and secret warfare, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean, and I like the like Andor-esque having the explaining like, well, how did you figure that we are going to have a republic if we don't hire all these, still keep on the workforce?
Right.
Interesting. There's cool things
for sure.
I do want to say that Sabine was great.
Yes,
I think all the cast that they have is great.
Yeah, Hera was great.
Hera's great. Chopper was
Yang.
God, I love Chopper.
Yang was maybe my favorite.
He was great,
like next to Sabine, right?
I mean, amazing droid.
So he was in Rebels too, I'm assuming.
I don't think so.
He wasn't. Wow.
I mean, I haven't seen him.
He almost felt like a Rebels character, like genuinely in design and like personality.
Yeah.
I will say another one of my gripes with these first 2 episodes. The Sabine fight with Shin, that was good. I was excited. It was a good fight. And then she gets stabbed.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know. I'm just so tired of stabs not meaning anything. Like that. And like, why would Shin not finish the job? Like, why would you like, I don't know. You were sent there to kill Sabine. Like, I guess you were sent there to also get the map.
Well, I guess she got stabbed and then Ahsoka showed up.
Yeah, but you could just go bzz, and then like go horizontal and she's cut in half. I hear you. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear you for sure.
It's just starting to get a little annoying.
No, I when she got stabbed, I went, and then I went, come on. Yeah, she's not dead.
And then the next day, she's like pretty much 90%.
Your wounds have healed. Okay. Yeah. No, that is frustrating. I do like, I really like the Indiana Jones-esque, like it did feel like
the beginning
with Ahsoka. Like that was great.
For sure. It was
There's a lot of, I do love that they do spend a lot of time on scenes.
Yeah.
Which I like, as opposed to these like really quick, we go through everything very, very quickly.
Right.
But
I mean, I also kind of like, I
love the music.
Sure. Yeah, the score was great. Very great.
I think that's half the reason I like this so much is all these other Star Wars shows. I mean, Mandalorian has a great theme and like motifs and stuff that makes you feel like in the world. But this felt more like, I like when it gets to the villains part, it's like this thing, it's like,
sure.
I don't know. And they have like,
epic,
almost like the Leia theme at times. And
I didn't notice that. That's interesting.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'd have to listen to it again, but that's cool.
How do you not know the Leia theme?
No, I meant like in Ahsoka, like for the music, that mirrors Leia.
No, I know, but I'm just like surprised.
But yeah, I was gonna say I touched on it a little bit earlier in the review, but Ahsoka, her being my least favorite part of this, and it's mainly due to Rosario Dawson's performance.
Just crossing her arms all the time.
She's so monotone and so like stoic that it's like you've changed the character like a little too much for me. Even though she's like 15 years older from her time in Rebels and like 30 years older from her time in Clone Wars, it's just a little bit of like I want some emotion. Like when she was talking about like, we're not just doing this for Ezra, we're doing this to stop a war, and I was like, give me some emotion to that. That's an epic line,
Yeah.
I don't know. I want a little more from her. I hope as the show goes on, it starts to open up for her as well. But yeah, that's my biggest gripe right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But yeah,
I just need a little bit more. Like, to be honest, there, as much as I like seeing Lothal and I like the building and I like the scenes of like Sabine doing the shit with the security officers
and the motorcycle,
and
right.
I think the fight scene between Ahsoka and the Inquisitor and Hera going after the hyperdrive, like I think all that's
works
cool.
Really well.
There's a bunch of great scenes. But in reality, there's things that like brought like Sabine and Ahsoka together, but in for the most part, what's happened so far is Ahsoka found the star map. Sure.
Not
also,
a ton has happened,
Hera's like a general.
Well, sure. I don't know.
Hera's a general.
They all seem insanely respected, I guess.
But Hera's a general, and she probably like has access to a ton of shit. But then she goes, you know who could help you? Your former apprentice could read this.
Maybe
Why?
She's got a hidden agenda.
No.
I don't know.
No, but why like Sabine? Like there's probably a bunch of other people. Like Sabine doesn't have that much knowledge. Like the only thing she's like, she's very artful. She has a creative eye. That's the explanation they gave.
So she's not like a super smart person in the Rebels?
She is, but like to figure out this map, like you're telling me it has to be Sabine. There's no like necessary, like there's not necessarily like a super good reason other than like you seem to be good with art because you would, like I don't, you know what I mean? So,
I feel you.
But
also, sorry, do you have more to say on Sabine or?
No.
But I was going to ask, do you remember?
Oh, but
sorry.
What really happened in the episode so far is Ahsoka got a map. Mm-hmm. She got it taken away. And now they're going after to get the map.
Yeah.
But now with Sabine.
As her apprentice.
I
like the little Padawan thing at the end.
No, I do. Yeah. I do like it. It's just there's not a whole lot. I mean, yes, there is like a lot of information. Like we're going to this far off galaxy and we have the introduction of Night Sisters and all these new things, but there's not a like where there's this relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine that they're mending. Did I really feel like there was that much to mend? I don't know.
Right.
Because I don't really. I think
you didn't see the end of Rebels, so
well, sure, but I think like you were saying, like Ahsoka, like she's just there doesn't seem to be a focus on her and her emotions and
right.
What she's thinking about. Yeah, she's just more of this. Let's follow like how Obi-Wan Obi-Wan had actually more emotions and stuff going on.
Oh yeah,
but
totally.
Or like with Mando in season 3, it's like the Mandalorian, but it focused on Bo-Katan more than it did Din most of the time. So
yeah, that's it's unfortunate, but I'm kind of I'm living for what comes next, which is the master apprentice relationship. So, but yeah, I was gonna ask at the end of Mandalorian season 3, or like somewhere in the middle of that, we see a Rebels character. I don't remember his name. At a bar. Do you think? Obviously, we're gonna see him again, right? They set him up for for the show, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean, they were, if I'm not mistaken, that planet that they went to with all the repair, I thought that was the same place, like the same planet that New Republic outpost that we see him at is.
Oh, you said that you think they went there in Ahsoka? Is that what you're saying?
I think that place where they like had the Inquisitor fight. I feel like that was the same name, like the same planet name.
It could be.
I could be wrong.
I'd have to see it again, maybe.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I do think we're seeing all the characters
from Rebels. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's our thoughts on Ahsoka episode 1 and 2.